Hello, everybody. How are you? I see everyone's been chatting. I've been reading the chat for a few minutes. I like to try to go. I'm actually probably like 30 seconds early, but I like to go right at 10:30. I wish I had a countdown. So, have fun at the zoo, Evelyn. I also, like Marianne said, I like taking my kids to the zoo when they were little too. That was really fun when they were little. And then one of my absolute favorite field trips when my kids were older in third grade, both of them got to go to the zoo. And that was the best field trip ever because it was your kid and one other. And you didn't have to stay with the group. You could just go off and do whatever you wanted and then be back at the bus at a certain time. So I love the zoo. We haven't been in a long time. Let's see. I saw most of the chat, but let me read everybody else's. So how is everybody? Let's see. Oh, just to let everybody know, I've been so busy. If you have private messaged me through email or text or anything, I'm sorry if I haven't gotten back to you. Heather, I saw your email. Danny tried emailing and texting me, which I was going to text her back during this last half hour, and I got busy, getting stuff for my daughter and husband called, things like that. Danny won't be here. She lost internet, so she's very worried about her classes. I don't know if you guys heard. Evelyn said, my kids are the age that they enjoy the zoo. So I remember when, I think the first time I took my son, so my son's very active, like all little boys are. And I took him to the zoo and my daughter's older and we went with a group, like a mom's group. So there were other older kids and he did not want to sit in the stroller. But then you couldn't just let him go anywhere, at a crowded place like a zoo. So a friend of mine, this is when I used to be judgmental before I had kids and when I just had a little girl. That was when I started using those little leashes because my friend had an extra one. Like my son did not want to sit in the stroller. So I used one of those leash things and then he could walk and he liked to walk, but I had a hold on him. So I used to be so judgmental of those things before, my friend was like, here, use this. And it worked so well. And he didn't have to sit in the stroller. And you do get looks from people who are not parents who don't understand. But let's see. Marianne, I'm going to try to keep up with the chat box. She asked how the 5K was. It was really good. We walked the whole way. We weren't even trying to race. You could do it timed or untimed. When I signed up, I did untimed. We were not the last ones. There were still a lot of people behind us, but I think it took us a while, but we did it. I was tired, and my daughter was like, I was dragging that last little bit, and she was like, "Come on, Mom, I have a chronic illness." Okay, well, I'm a couple years older than you, so there's that. Yeah. Plus, I didn't really train for it. Marianne, you're going to be so ready for your half marathon because you're training for it. All right. Let's see. I'm going to see what I missed in the chat box. Heather, I was very tired over the weekend. I had a few classes that started at 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., then again at 7 a.m. Wow. So you're still doing overnights, Heather. That does get tiring fast. I did that at the beginning to start my business rolling, and after I got it rolling for about 2 weeks, my schedule is 5 to 10, and it still is. And Marianne said that's a tough schedule. Don't you do overnights? I thought you did overnights too, Marianne. And hi, Kim. And Heather says, this is my last week for doing. Oh, I missed the chat. Let's see. Sorry if the chat. I'm going to try to respond to everybody. I know, Evelyn. My son needs a leash. It's so different with boys. They don't sit the way girls do. And they don't want to sit in the stroller, but you can't, they could get kidnapped or hit by a car. People who don't have kids don't understand. You will get some looks, though, if you use it. And Danny lost internet. Must have been severe weather. Yes. And well, the thing was, her husband went out to try to buy a router so she could do her classes for the next day. Walmart had none left. So I think she's on day 2 of nothing. So that's why she won't be at the live. She doesn't even have internet. Very hard to stay awake. Yeah, Heather, I can imagine. That was hard. Actually, you know those moments that VIPKID sends every 2 weeks? I love those. The only one I ever hated was the one where I did overnight. I was looking so rough. I was like, I look horrible. Those overnights will wear you out. Oh yeah, I loved hearing your daughter walked fast. I don't know about fast, just faster than me. But yes, she kept up. She did well. You know what, guys? She is up right now and she's getting ready for school. And the fact that she just did that yesterday and she's up and getting ready for school, like that, she has come a long way. So I think a couple years ago, doing that yesterday, she would have been in bed all day. So sometimes I do get discouraged that her health isn't progressing. But when it comes to getting better from Lyme, it is very much like losing weight. You guys know, if you're with someone like your spouse every day and they're losing weight, you don't notice because it's so gradual. But if you haven't seen someone in 6 months and they've lost weight, wow, you notice. So I feel like Lyme getting better is like that. It's slow. So sometimes I see the bad days and I get discouraged, but really I need to look back and see where she came from, a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago. Yes, Heather said I had priority bookings. Did you accept them? It's so hard for me. If I close my slots, it's for a reason. So I have to reject a lot of them. And in the month of May, I've had to take a lot of time off. But I will accept them. If I'm already have my slots open that day and somebody requests within an hour earlier, then I'll accept it. So I try to accept them when I can. How long does it take to get Gogokid bookings? I have one. Okay, so it's like being new to any company. Actually, Evelyn, it's so funny. I was watching, I watched your lives. I watched some of them later because, I was at work and could only be there for part of them. I actually had some thoughts while I was listening to your live. And I actually was going to send you a private message about my thoughts about the whole thing. But, I got busy. Like I said, I haven't returned a lot of emails. So since you asked, I will tell you, I think in your live, you were telling me that you rejected some priority bookings because you really wanted to keep that time open for Gogokid. So anyways, this is just my opinion. An opinion, everybody has an opinion, but I'll just tell you what I think. So I was thinking when I heard you say that, I didn't think that was a good idea, only because you are new at Gogokid. If they're priority booking you at VIPKID, that means they want to book with you, and that's guaranteed that they're going to book with you. It's guaranteed income. So you rejected that for Gogokid, which you're new. So it's going to be the same when when you were new at VIPKID. It takes a while to get bookings. Your first few bookings will be trials that might not show up. So I don't know, Evelyn. I don't know if I would rethink. I think if you get a priority booking request, I would close with Gogokid and keep VIPKID because that's guaranteed money. Just my 2 cents, just my opinion, since you asked. But yes, it is very much like starting at VIPKID. You have to do all the things. You have to open overnights, which you're probably not willing to do because you already have bookings at VIPKID, understandably. But yeah, it takes a while, like being new at any company. Kim said, my son was calm. Stay near me, kid. My daughter was the wild one. She is 4 today, much calmer now. Okay, so yours were the opposite. You had a tornado, Heather. When? Last night? Oh my goodness. How bad was it? How bad was the damage? Did it hit your house? We found a tick in our linen closet a couple days ago. I don't even know where it came from. We have no window. Do you have a dog or maybe a person brought it in when? Definitely spray some of your clothes and maybe your furniture and things with permethrin. If you don't remember what that is, watch Danny's video, not the long one. She did the live stream, but she did like a short, quick one, which was like maybe 6 minutes and all about prevention. And I'm still working on mine. I've just been so busy with other things going on in my life. I haven't had time to do it. So I decided to redo the script. So then that kind of sent it back. Kim said, I tutor books automatically when you are hired. The rest you have to work for your bookings. Yes. So there's advantages and disadvantages, I think, to all the companies. And actually that's great. Like a great selling point about iTutor is that they book for you. And that's wonderful. For me personally, I didn't like the minimum hours because I have other jobs, like I have my freelance job and things like that. I didn't want something where like I had to have a minimum. But if your schedule is like, online teaching is your only gig and like you can do it, then that would be a plus, especially if you're new. So yes, that's a good selling point for a lot of people. If anyone's interested in iTutor, Kim can be your mentor. Let's see. Evelyn said, I should have explained better. I changed from 5:30 to 8:30 VIPKID to 6 to 8:30 VIPKID, so still teaching 6 classes. Yes. Okay, so I got that. I think you said in your live that you were booking the 5 and 5:30 for Gogokid, but you said that you had rejected priority booking requests from VIPKID for the 5 and 5:30, right? So that's just what I meant. Like I thought, since you're new at Gogokid, like if it were me, I would have accepted the priority booking since those are like guaranteed. Heather said no damage, but in other places, trees down. We have 2 dogs. I did take the priority bookings, which is why I worked from 1 to 3. Okay. Yes. You know what? I did 2 weeks of overnights when I was brand new. And I remember I really, really, really couldn't wait for my first priority booking request because I thought, oh, people, that's when you've made it. Like people want me, they're asking for me. And then I was so burned out at overnights. I said, never again. I did it for 2 weeks. I'm not doing it anymore. My first priority booking request was like for 2 a.m. And I was like, no, I'm just overwhelmed. I can't do it. So I couldn't wait for my first priority booking request and I ended up rejecting it. Kim said, I understand. I do like the cancellations with iTutor. More than 24 hours and you don't have to worry about it. I have 2 hours this evening. Well, that's good. That's another good selling point. They have, less of a cancellation policy. So there you go. If you want someone that books for you and has a lighter cancellation policy, Kim can help you with iTutor. So how was everybody's weekend? I know, well, some of you have already been talking about it. So Saturday, I didn't have a lot going on. Helped get my daughter caught up with homeschooling. Yesterday was crazy. I already told you guys about the 5K, so that was in the morning. So then in the afternoon, my son had a soccer game. Luckily, it was local because the 5K was like an hour away. But it was so hot, you guys. I sweated more from just sitting there watching my son play soccer than from walking the 5K because the 5K was early in the morning. It wasn't hot yet. So yeah, I was exhausted last night. Yes. Yeah, Kim, definitely. There are pros to cons to all the companies. So, yeah, so I was exhausted. Anyone else? Sounds like a tornado that was busy. What did you do, the rest of you, with your weekend? Okay, so today I'm going to talk about booking frenzy. How was everybody's booking frenzy? I had 21 this morning. Again, I don't have all the slots I normally have open for the month of May because I just have I'm working at my other job a little bit. Memorial weekend, I'm taking off. So it was a little less than normal. Kim said, Saturday, we celebrated my daughter's 4th birthday, which is today. Her party lasted 4 hours outside. It was a heat of 98. Yeah. I know, you guys, it's getting hot. So next weekend, my son has a soccer tournament. It's supposed to be in the 90s again. Yeah. I took a long, hot Epsom salt bath last night after all of that. Felt good. Um, and how is everybody's booking frenzy? How were your classes this morning? You guys, I had some not strange, but the first half of my classes, so I do a chunk of classes, drive my son to school, and then I usually do 3 more. The chunk of classes I had before I drove my son to school, oh boy, I had 2 different students who were falling asleep on me. One of them, she was younger. She was a level 3, a lower level 3. I just decided to Dora it because I tried everything. I tried blowing a whistle even. I tried doing this. So what I'm going to do is just I Dora it, and then in the feedback, I'm going to say, watch the playback. I mean, she literally couldn't keep her eyes open. And she sort of, at the end, mumbled goodbye. I had another boy, same thing, not as tired as this girl, but he was tired. This was an assessment too. I mean, and he stayed awake long enough for the class, not like her, but another kid could barely stay awake. And then I had a level 1. This is my second time with her, so this was not like this the first time, but I do realize with little ones, they're going to have a good and bad day. Like, was hiding under the chair, didn't want to talk to me. So I got out every stuffed animal. I was just like pulling out stuffed animals. Do you like bears? Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? And then finally she runs away. She gets Dino and her Hello Kitty. So then I had my Dino talk to her Dino. And if she wouldn't talk to me, then I would talk to Dino. I'd say, okay, can Dino say whatever? Can Dino say it? Can you? And then she would do it. She would do it if I asked Dino to do it. And then she pretended to be Dino instead of asking her. So yeah, so I drove my son to school, and thank God the last 3 classes were like more normal. I had regulars. They were awake. Let's see. So Heather said less than normal. I think it's because of Children's Day coming. Marianne, my whole schedule booked except for 3. I'm leaving some open for short notice on weekend. So you're going to try what Danny does. Oh man, I can't do what Danny does. I was fully booked today. I had 1 no-show, which I knew about yesterday, a level 1. So I guess I taught 8, but I paid for 9. I would love that. Those are so fun. Okay, Kim, yes. Since I'm reading it late, I don't know what you're talking about. Cool, Marianne, on the bookings. Yikes, level 1's hard to be energetic after that many back-to-back. GTG, getting ready for the zoo. Have a great day. Do you have to go, Evelyn? Maybe she already left. That's great strategy with Dino, Kelly. Yes. Especially because she went and got them and was excited about them. Have fun, Evelyn. Kim does short notice on weekends. Do they all book, Kim? What are my hours? So I do 5 to 10 most days of the week. Yeah, 5 to 10 during the weekdays. If school's going on, I cut out 1/2 hour to drive my son to school. Level 1s are fun but exhausting. Yes. My favorite, I still like the upper levels better. I mean, and they do take, so you guys, on Saturday, I did 10 back to back, no breaks. They all showed up. And I've done 10 before. 10 are exhausting. I know Marianne does more. But but after it was all over, I wasn't as exhausted as I normally was. And I realized because all my classes were like levels 3 to 5. So like I wasn't as tired because, the upper levels, they do more of the reading. You can just talk to them. And actually, I think I've told you guys this before, but like I only did 3 through 5, like my first few months. When I applied, it was done a little differently than the process is now, what you're going through, Heather. You didn't have to certify for each level. So they slated me for doing older kids, which I was at first disappointed about because like when I substitute teach, I really like the younger kids better. But I started teaching the older kids and I found that They were right. They knew what they were doing by saying I should teach older kids because, like, I just really like to be able to talk to them. I like the conversations you get with the older ones, which the younger ones, you just can't have the conversations. There's the language barrier. I mean, I certified for the levels. I want all options as far as people booking me, but I do like the upper levels better. Like I like being able to have a real conversation. Like I don't like the whole time, this is her ball, this is our ball, this is their ball. Um don't all book, but I also have 2 hours a day with iTutor on weekends, so I just get to sleep in. If not, I get trials on the weekend and new to me students. Okay. But does it balance out with the extra $2 per class with some of them then not getting booked? And I guess factor in some of them you might get an extra 5. Does it all balance out the fact that some don't book? That's a What do you think? Marianne, I spent 2 years as a daycare teacher of 2-year-olds. I can do L1 all day and not get tired. Yes, in person. In person, I like the little ones better. Like when you substitute teach, like the older ones are just harder to control. The little ones want to hug you, which I love that. But over a computer screen, you can't do that. And the language barrier. Marianne, starting next Monday, I will be taking off Mondays so I can do my long runs. Today is 7 miles, which is the most I've ever done. I'm starting to I feel like I need 1 day a week off, but then I want the peak times. Like I'm just starting to get burned out. But it's not just online teaching, it's like everything in my life right now. Heather says, those of you that do evenings, do you ever have your 8 p.m. and later booked? So anyone want to answer that? Because I don't do evenings. I can't do evenings and then mornings back to back. Yeah, it stinks. You have to get certified for each level. It is. And it took me a while to get certified for level 2. I tried that one 3 times. I did it twice, and then they make you wait a month. And I did do some things within that month. Like I took some workshops about level 2. I took workshops on TPR, but then, yeah, it took me a while. But then shortly after getting certified for level 2, I did 1, and I also did 6. I said for a long time, I love doing 6, but then I don't get that many 6s, so I feel like I can't say it's my favorite yet. And also the last level 6 I told you about last week, was that boy that thought he knew everything, so that class wasn't fun. I like Marianne likes the littles, but also likes balance. And then Kim says, I book evenings with iTutor for now. I don't book with VIPKID in the evenings for now. Haha, Kelly, if I get a trial conversion, I make more. If not, I just open up more with iTutor and make it up. Okay. How far in advance do you have to open with iTutor since they book for you? Is it like way ahead of time, or is it like VIPKID where you could just tell them 2 days ahead of time, or do they have 24 hours? Do they pay more for 24 hours? I think I'm more subdued than y'all. I don't know. Kim, I think I'm not like I think I'm a little more subdued too. So I was also going to talk about new certifications. So let's see. Evelyn left. All my people that work at Gogokid have left. Heather's applying for Gogokid. So they have some new like side courses, kind of like VIPKID does. So I got certified for free talk and phonics over the weekend, but those courses don't even start till July. And then I know Marianne heard about this. Sorry, Marianne. I know you were disappointed you didn't get the email, but VIPKID's doing some like trial run on some new classes. Like they're implementing a reading class, and they sent me like an email last week. And I got certified for that over the weekend because they started booking last night. So if I get bookings, I think let me bring up the email. It's between like the 27th and whatever that week is. If I get bookings for that new course and then I fill out a survey after it's over, I get an extra $5 a class. So I like made sure Saturday, like I got that certification because I knew I'd be busy Sunday and I wanted it before the frenzy. Yeah, so I don't think I got any bookings with though. I was a little disappointed. That would really be nice. And then after the trial period, they're rolling it out for everybody. Kim says my class is tonight and I open for first night. You need 4 hours notice to open slots. Okay, so it's you can do it in less than 24 hours like VIPKID. That's good. They don't pay more for short notice. Bookings aren't guaranteed until before class. They can change at any time. Heather says I want to do the voice of VIPKID, but I need level 4. That was one I I do almost all, like if I'm eligible or it comes up, like I'll do it. But that was one I chose not to do. I don't like to sing. So I was like, if parents are booking that class, that's what they're expecting, and why would they want a teacher who doesn't want to sing? And then Marion said, I haven't had phonics and test prep classes in a while. I had a TOEFL primary actually just on Saturday. She was a great student too. One of my upper levels. So also I was going to talk today about summer bookings. So you guys, several of the Facebook groups posted a video by this YouTuber. Her name, Teacher Melissa. Here, I'll post the video here in the chat box. She actually has a really popular channel, so maybe some of you have already seen some of her stuff. I hadn't heard about her. She's older, so I started watching some of her more other videos. So she defies all the stereotypes. Older people can't do YouTube because she has some really good videos. Heather said I watched that. Okay, yeah, it was really good. And then I subscribed to her and started watching some of her other videos, and they were very helpful. Like one thing she said in another video, I never thought of this. You guys, did you even think about this? One thing VIPKID and Gogokid classes don't teach the kids is how to say please. And if the kids are going to come here for university or they're going to travel here, that's one thing they should learn. And one of her videos was talking about how you should teach please, and how she does it with her rewards. She teaches them to say please. And what a good idea. I never thought about that. Anyways, I went off on a tangent. My whole point was I was going to talk about her summer bookings. So in the sorry, I got distracted by the chat box. I'll read real quick. Yes, I watched that. That was the one I spoke about my YouTube live. Oh, okay. And Heather says I love her. Marianne said I might send in a ticket. Yeah, Marianne, what could it hurt? It doesn't hurt to ask. If you ask and they say no, well, then you're in the same spot you were before, and they might say yes. So why not ask? iTutor teaches please. Okay, good. I think that is something VIPKID should teach, and I never even thought about it till I saw one of her videos. But anyways, in her video, she was saying that and maybe you veteran teachers already know this, but think about it, you guys, the brick and mortar teachers who only teach very part-time, they are now going to open more slots. And the kids are going to be traveling, and they're going to have not the same schedules. So there's going to be more teachers opening slots, and then there's going to be less kids. So she did say that the summer bookings are going to go down. I'm a little scared, but the good thing is now I have regulars and people that know me. So I feel like that should help. If there's more teachers to choose from, but they already know me, maybe I'll still get bookings, but they could be traveling, but it is scary. So those of you who've worked a year or more, what do you think? What were summer bookings like for you last year? Let us know, because I started at the very end of August, so I didn't even really get up and running on my bookings till October. So this will be my first summer. So I want to hear from those of you who've been working for a year or more, what the summer was like for you last year. Okay, Heather says they rarely say yes. I've put in 2 tickets for different certifications and was told the requirements have to be met. Okay, Heather, maybe possibly it's because you're a new teacher. I don't know. I don't know what the requirements is, but hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. Again, they say no. You were in the same spot you were before, so it didn't really hurt you. But why not ask just in case they say yes? Heather, I'm freaking out. Well, Heather, get your Gogokid certification. Apply to Gogokid. All you have to do is book the interview, start checking. Maybe there'll be interview slots over like Memorial Weekend. In China, they're not celebrating, but less people are going to be booking those slots. Maybe try it. Kim says, I started in April. July was great. My bookings really picked up in contract too. And then Heather said, I'm looking at an American company that does the same thing VIPKID does. If you have a cancellation, teacher no-show, there are no repercussions. Okay, so it's basically like tutoring, but in America. Well, let us know how that goes, Heather, if you start up with that. They pay a little less. Okay. I was thinking about Cambly, you guys. I know they pay significantly less, but the daytime hours and the fact that they're so flexible, like that. There was one Saturday, there was something going on, I think extra like school, where I had like an hour and a half, like, in the middle of my bookings. Times like that, it'd be easy just to pick up with Cambly. Anyways, if you guys don't know what Cambly is and want to know, tell me in the chat box, because I don't want to explain something if you already know. Marianne said, this is my first summer full-time with VIPKID. I was a camp director the past 3 years and only worked a few classes in the morning. How long have you been with VIPKID, Marianne? Because you're pretty, like, you get 15 classes a night. You're very booked. So let us know your secret. I would say I'm 90% booked these days. And if I'm not booked, it's usually that 5 a.m. that doesn't book. You don't know what Cambly is. Okay, so they're a little more casual than like VIPKID. You don't even need a degree, but they pay about half of what we're getting. But they have daytime hours because they do all around the world. And it's not just teaching. Like sometimes you just talk, like people just want to practice their English. I've heard people say when I watch YouTube, like that they, someone might call in and they just want you to translate a song, or they just want to like talk to you. It's a lot more casual. You literally could just be like, oh, I have an extra hour, I'll just hop on. And you get paid by the minute. You're not paid by the class. So like when I say you get paid like by the hour, it's literally like the entire hour you're teaching. It's not like where it's like 25 minutes a class, 25 minutes. So it's like if you have a 15-minute call, you're only paid for those 15 minutes. Yeah, like I applied and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. So I'll let you guys know when. And then they also, Cambly is adults, but they have a children's part where you can teach children, and that pays $2 more an hour than teaching the adults. So you can make a little more. So it is significantly less, but the daytime hours are what, attracted me. I figured that would be, and it's so super flexible. Like if you want to pick up an hour here, if you want to not work for 3 months, kind of like VIPKID and Gogokid are that flexible, but literally you can just like hop on. You could be like, oh, my appointment got canceled. I'm just going to hop on and accept calls. So the flexibility and the daytime hours are what attracted me. I do hear that they take a while to get back to you. So when I hear back, I will let you guys know. No, they don't, Marianne. So they pay a lot less. So like I said, it was the daytime hours and the flexibility, but the pay is, not that good. So yeah, it's the same whether you have a degree or not. Marianne's been with VIPKID for 20 months. Okay, so a little over a year. And of course, if you were brand new last summer, of course, you probably already had the camp lined up, or you didn't want to rely on VIPKID if you were new. I still was primarily working for my other company until like they didn't have any work for me and I started working overnights. Yeah, so anyone else have anything to say about that? I also wanted to talk about burnout. So don't think I'm going to give you any advice, you guys. I don't have any. If anyone wants to give me advice on dealing with burnout, please let me know. Decisions. Yeah, Heather. It's a lot. So many companies to consider. There are a lot of ESL companies out there, a lot. So you have to decide what goes with your needs. Um, guys, I'm getting burned out. I do work 7 days a week most week. I had started to take one day a week off, and then I found out about the peak time raise requirements. So then I started adding that one day back in, but just starting later, starting 2 hours later, which helps. But it's not just that, you guys. It's the end of school. Come on, you guys know all the activities you have at the end of school, and things like soccer are winding down. So there's like tournaments and there's projects and there's my daughter's had a lot of appointments lately. Burnout is real, Marianne. I know. I know you work overnights and you said you were getting burned out. Kim said, I deal with burnout by finding time for myself. I take a long bath when I can. I did that last night. Yes. And Kim said, I've had one day off between both companies since last June. Oh, wow. So you don't have any advice with that goes. I know Danny's been taking 2 days a week off. Marianne, I need a day off. I have projects. And Heather says teachers deserve a vacation without the fear of losing students. I know. It's hard. I had to reject so many priority booking requests. But I hope they understand. Like, first of all the places I go on vacation don't have good internet. Like, when I go to the beach this summer, I stay at my father's beach house. Now, every single year we go there, the kids complain about the internet. That's the one thing they always complain about. They'll be online and it'll just cut off. So, of course, I'm not going to trust like the signal going all the way to China. So I'm just for that reason alone, I'm not going to teach. I don't want a teacher IT or, no show. Not, and the other fact is when you take a vacation, you want time off. So yeah, I'm going to have to reject. And I have some students, because I've had to take off time for work, who booked me at a different time. So after I rejected them, they booked me at a different time, which is awesome. They like me enough that they are making their schedule around me. That is really good. But then there's a couple other students, like I haven't seen them on my schedule, which I hope they come back. And I'm thinking when my schedule goes back to normal, or I have a week where I'm opening all the days, I might send like a card to some of the students I haven't seen in a while and say, hey, missed you, haven't seen you in a while. My schedule's back to normal if you'd like to book classes. Kim said, I'm taking off a week in June with iTutor and just opening with VIPKID short notice at the beach. Great idea. And if you're staying at a hotel, from what I hear from everybody else, hotels have great internet, so at least you don't have to worry about that. I'm not staying in a hotel. So yeah, I'm doing it not just to not teach. I'm doing it, I don't want to teach or IT or no show. Yes, Heather, it does. It makes me feel good. And then there's one student who is wonderful. She's been a regular of mine since like back in October. And they always give me 5 apples. So they're the ones who keep trying to priority booking request me at the time I drive my son to school. And a couple times, like, I went ahead and made him ride the bus and like rearrange my schedule. One time they canceled and I had another kid book. So I said something in the feedback like, hey, if you're going to cancel, could you please like send me a card and let me know? You've been coming to me for a long time. Your daughter Sophia is very special to me. I appreciate you always give me 5 apples. So there's certain things I would do for you that I wouldn't do for other students. So if you're going to cancel, just let me know. Well, they just stopped priority booking requests me and just started booking me at other times instead, which was fine with me. I'd prefer that. But I really think that they just did not realize that I actually had to rearrange my schedule when I was accepting their priority booking request. And so now they just book at a different time. But thank you. They didn't stop coming to me. I just think, now they understand, and they don't want to feel guilty if they have to like cancel. But I'm glad I said something. Okay, let me read the chat box. Um, Heather said, I had a student send me 2 cards this week, say you did very well teaching. And Heather, I heard they only get a few free cards when they're new, and then they actually have to pay with their tokens or their stars to send you a card. So finding that out, like when they send you a card, they had to spend their tokens unless they were new. So that's really special. When I found that out, that's really, really special. Marianne said, my husband and I are going to start selling things on eBay, so I will probably cut back with VIPKID. That's the plan, but the paychecks are good. I know. I have some things I need to sell on eBay. eBay is such a pain, too. I thought about doing that more, and I'm like, oh, it's such a pain. It's easier just to get up and teach. And Kim says, the internet is the same as I have at home. It worked last year when I did it. They are houses, but a busy area. Well, good. If you know you have good internet, then that's great. And you're only doing them short notice, so you're not committed. If you stay out late the night before, you're really tired from the beach, then you don't have to. Heather said, my husband's starting his own YouTube channel on something with survival techniques. Him and my daughter will be going out in isolated places. Tick protection, Heather. Make sure they are protected from ticks. All their clothes and choose permethrin. I don't want you to go through what I've been through. Exciting and scary. I hope things take off for you and your husband, Marianne. Yes, I hope they do too. And then Heather, I hope too. How's things going with your husband? I don't know if you want to talk about it on here or not. So there's so much competition. Yes, with eBay there is, but yeah, good luck with that. So what else did I want to talk about? Does anyone else have any advice for me about burnout? Sound like you all are struggling with the same thing. They came home this week and I had to check their hair and body. Yes. I actually we have an app with the soccer. There was a birthday party that some of them stayed for after the soccer game. My son was invited and he was planning on going and then was too tired, which I was fine with. I had done the 5K, so we skipped out on it. They had invited his classmates too, so they had plenty of teachers. But someone wrote on the app that she found a tick and it was really small because the ones that carry Lyme disease can be as small as a poppy seed. So I started, of course, it's me. I started posting all these ways that they could protect themselves in the future when they go to this place. So I hope people listen to me. I think they were playing hide and seek, so they went in the tall grass because the fields are, the astroturf, but there's some grassy areas, woods right behind it. So that must have been what happened. Yeah. And imagine my hair, a dark hair, it'd be so hard to find a tick. Marianne's urging me to take 1 day off per week. I think I will. All right. So let me know if you guys know the answer to this. Evelyn's not here and she's normally our, person that talks about the raises, but you know how they send you your contract for the next period? They send it 4 weeks early and you have to meet all the requirements by those 4 weeks. So your requirements for the next year, do they start 4 weeks later? So do you have 4 weeks where you're in between the one before starting the requirements for the other? So I was thinking that might be a good time to take some time off if I do. Let me know, you guys. I don't know how it works. You have to, you go crazy. Yeah, I'm starting to get there. Believe me, I'm starting to get there. Marianne said it's nice to look forward to. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, maybe you meant the time off or the day off. I agree with Marianne. You have to, you go crazy. I mean, even that one day when I was waking up 2 hours late, that helped. But so Sunday I didn't teach any classes, but I had to still get up close to the time I normally do. Maybe I slept in an hour, but I had to get up early to go to that race. So I feel like this week I didn't even get time off. Okay. Yeah. Heather, if anybody knows the answer, let me know. So you guys, if anyone has anything else to say, let me know. If not, I've talked about all the things I have to talk about, and I realize I've been on for 45 minutes now. I have to do my feedback, and I have a busy day. Thank you, Heather. Prayers for any of you guys, too. Let me know what you need. And Kim said, no, for raise 2, it starts month before. So for me, it would be April. My raise starts in March. So in other words, when they send that contract out, they send it out 4 weeks early before your actual year is up. From then on is when it starts. All the stuff counts for the next year, the amount of classes, the peak times and stuff like that. Is that what you meant, Kim? That's what I think you mean. Um, anyways, I'll ask Evelyn to see if she'll talk about it too. Okay, well that's good to know, because I thought maybe I could slack off for 4 weeks, but I'm glad I didn't slack off and then, I regret it later. All right, well, you guys all have a great day. I'll see most of you at Evelyn's live tomorrow. Okay? All right, bye guys. See you tomorrow, or talk to you tomorrow.